future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
Greetings and hello, everyone. I am Gary Gatso. Welcome to P1's coverage of Round 8 of Season 2 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. We come to you tonight from Homestead, Miami Speedway, just outside of Vice City, getting ready to go green as we're getting a little late into this introduction. But on the pole is Clindy. Right next to him is Forsyth. We got Wags and Stouffer on row 2, Collins and Fortson on row 3, Rigney and Reagan on row 4. Our points leader back on row 4, Lovern and Herrick back on row 5. And coming to the green, we got Hearns and Hayes, Gallows and Ravon, Ramsey and Collins, Marcamini, Mixer, Callisto and Kirby back in row 10. And that is your field as we are green flag here at Miami. And joining me in the booth, as always, is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Luis, we're underway. Welcome.
Yeah, we're underway. 73 Fahrenheit on track. After yesterday, we have a great race with a lot of people watching, and with the body yesterday, we are back here to ISRA with plenty on the pole.
Oh, three wide with Wags to the bottom. And the Scott Goodyear throwback, and he goes to the point.
Pretty good pass. I think it's going to be... Always I said it's back race at night, but Miami is not back race for sure. Even with the coldest track in iRacing, it's never gonna be back racing in Las Vegas. Nice pass on Wagner again.
Wagner back to the point. Chris Reagan down low under Fortson, getting the position. So now we got 3 Ford cars lined up. Fortson trying to get that spot back going in the turn 3. Back up front, here comes Clindy underneath Wags to get the position. Move Clindy up the first. Wags purple lap that time by a 2:10.1. Still right behind him, Rigney and Collins side by side. Going back to 9th, a battle between Lovern and Herrick. Right there in front of you. Right behind them is Rick Ravon. 3 wide. Going into the corner, that is Collins down low. Ramsey in the middle. And say, hey, Lewis Hayes doing a full send on the high side. Collins going down to the bottom of the racetrack again, taking some evasive maneuvers. Now he's clear of Hayes. Stouffer. He goes to the lead now, up 3 spots from where he started. Let's take a look at the points coming into today's round. And there you see Rigney, the leader, by 5 points over Collins, Clindy, Ray Vaughn, and Forsyth is your top 5. Should be center to screen. There it is. Hope everyone sees their favorites in the top 20. Back to the race at hand. Stouffer and Clindy continue to swap the lead back and forth. Wags back in 3rd. Forsyth in 4th. Tristan Fortson in 5th. Chris Reagan 6th. Rigney 7th. Jason Collins in 8th. His teammate Rick Ravon right behind him in 9th. Jim Herrick and Lovern continue to swap back that spot in 10th. Right behind them is Jacob Collins and Richie Hearn. Richie kind of in a new paint job. I like it.
Oh, Rick?
Is that no Richie? Rick's in the same paint job that I have. Rick's in the same paint job he's been in since 1994.
Look like in my camera, Rick lose the sponsor because I don't see the sponsor of Rick Mears in the car. But yeah, where's the Richie Hearn? Oh, that's pretty nice, actually. I like a blue car, actually. Yeah,
this looks nice. No, Rick Ravon has been in this gold-sponsored 1981-82 livery of Rick Mears literally since the second I met him back in the mid-90s. In IndyCar Racing 2, he was driving a very pixelated version of this car. But I have never seen him in another car. I figured there might be like a one-off race that maybe he's in a yellow submarine or one of the Marlboro cars. And he is, I don't think I've ever recalled seeing him in the yellow submarine or one of the Marlboro cars.
Yeah, so in my camera I cannot see any sponsor in his size. So all good.
Meanwhile, back up front is Clindy and Stouffer. Two guys we expect to be challenging for the points and point championship at the end of this season. Wags in 3rd, Forsyth 4th, Fortson in 5th. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing, and while you're at it, don't forget to smash the like and click the bell so don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. 15 of 130 in the books already, and it is I think it's pretty chippy up at the front as these two continue to swap the lead back and forth. And they are slowly inching away from Wags in 3rd, who is kind of by himself at the moment.
I think the better way to escape somebody else is just follow the car on the back. But now Stouffer want to make the swap. Did. And the point is, how long is gonna be working like that? I know it's really green now on the race, but thinking about the last 10 laps when you're decided, it's like, okay, who's gonna make the last move, and when I have to defend it. But that's who in the future is gonna be. But for now, one is keeping there in 0.7. 0.6 now behind Clindy, so it's not really these two guys far, but Forza is getting back for 1.1 in 4th.
Fortson underneath Forsyth, gets a wheel there. Can't quite clear him. Down low is the absolute fastest line around, but you have all the momentum on that higher line, and that is exactly what is keeping Craig Forsyth ahead of Fortson. But Fortson is closing the gap a little bit now, side by side in turns 3 and 4. Off of 4, down the front straight, drag race down the main straight. Cross the line, give the position back to Forsyth. Now as these two are now racing side by side, I think Fortson can clear him here. Also sneaking into the picture is Chris Reagan. And then right behind Reagan, up 7 spots, is Rocket Rick. Here's Rigney underneath Rick. Battle of the R's. Side by side, our points leader. Both of these guys have a win already this season. Caruso in chat says, Rick Ray Vaughn is a legend. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. I mean, the dude's been around for as long as I can remember. I don't think there's very many IndyCar races in the very early days, and IndyCar Racing 2 that I participated in that didn't have his name in the league standings somewhere or in a league record book.
Talking about Ray-Ban. So, you remember we talked about last race 2 weeks ago in some of the, I think it was out Fontana. We mentioned about Darlington is gonna coming back to the next season at some point, and iRacing, IndyCar, sorry, or whatever, or maybe 4th season, whatever.
Next season, yep.
Yeah. So, I started to check my stand, and I saw 1 win also in Darlington, and I saw 1 race. I finished 7 or 6, and guess who won that race?
I'm guessing the guy we're looking at right now, Rick Ray Vaughn.
It is. I get surprised and see people around, and you don't know until years later, oh, this guy won that race. Pretty nice to see him. I think so. That's maybe couples. I see him in official series, and then for sure it's getting more comfortable in private league.
There you see the inputs on Rick, his telemetry, 212, I think peaking in, 193 at the slowest point through the corners. Off the high side of 2, 113, 14, 15, 17 at the speed trap down the backstretch. He's in the draft of the cars in front of him, so he is getting a slightly bit of a pull from these cars. Bit of a tow. 216 that time, and the speed trap going into 1. He is keeping it right in 5th gear. He is not doing a lot of gear changing.
Sometimes make that gear change it to low of 4th. It's burning a little more fuel.
Yep.
It's a little more, but it's making more track, and also it help you. That's what I understand. Help you to make the transition much better. Oh, little slice over there, Raymond, in the 2. So it's help you, but also the handicap is burning fuel more and more. So it's good for Raymond keeping it there, or maybe some people use 6, but it's going slow actually and exit. So always speed is the better one.
Glindy, your leader right now by 0.2 of a second over Stouffer. Let's get you some gaps now as we are starting to string out a little bit. There you see 0.2, and then about a second back to Wags behind Stouffer. So Stouffer, Wags falling back a little bit more. Fortson, 1.4, almost 1.5 behind Wags. So this whole top 10 is very tight now, or very strung out, excuse me. But let's go back to this battle. That's what I started to saw get a little tighter there for a second. It was Reagan and Forsyth. Oh, big twitch. Big twitch by Chris Reagan. Wow. I don't know if we can go back in time and watch that from the point of view of Forsyth, but watch from Forsyth's point of view. Watch this. When a car comes off the corner, now there used to be back in the day a bump right up here. That would look at that. Wow, what a catch!
You see by netcode hit the wall actually, but it was a good save for him.
Micah Mixer up to 15th. Micah finished on the podium at our race at Road America last week. Looking for a repeat performance on the podium. Right behind him is Justin Kirby. And then Hugo Gallas and the Longhorns, Texas Longhorns colors. Meanwhile, back up front, Christopher has adjusted his line. He's gone to the high line and has started to reel in Clindy a little bit.
Yeah, when they get it back for 1.3 now. Oh, that's close to the wall. I think it's better to be second. You can use the opposite line to have Clendy is going low over there. But Wagner came back, tried to catch the guys, but it's not the race over for sure. He need to keep pushing, or maybe keep the momentum. It's really dumb. The time is almost equal on the two guys on the front. Forson is a little bit slow. Actually, no, it's a little more fast actually than Wagner, but it is at least the timing is. I thought Forson's going to the wall, but it's getting close. It's getting close, and Wagner is getting a little bit struggle with the tires.
Rayvon around Craig Forsyth, who missed that pass, but Rayvon now up to 6 as he tries to run down Chris Reagan. 37 of 130 in the books. Pit stops not too far off in the future for these guys. It's about 45 laps to a tank here on these mile-and-a-half tracks and these IR18s. So they're looking at least 2 stops for tonight. Maybe 3. Maybe a splash at the end. Let's see, what would be a 3-stopper here? If they can get the 43 laps, would be a 3-stopper. And just a little bit of a save. So if they get the 44 laps, which is only about 4 laps from now. No, I don't think it's going to really turn into a fuel mileage race here. And Rayvon now up to Reagan. Oh, look at Rick send it to the bottom right in front of Forsyth. Makes Forsyth push up the hill. Fortunately, this is becoming a bit of a regular occurrence for Forsyth. Starting up front, but fading during the race, but recovering in the late stages. Currently, Rayvon is up now 8 spots. He started 14th, whereas Craig
Reagan.
Forsyth is now 2nd. Started 2nd now. Yeah, no, I missed it. Say it again.
It's okay. So Reagan held Forsyth to give it a draft, and then going up in turn 3 and 4 to give it the dirty air to Raven.
Well,
Now it's going to force a pass.
That's teammates for you. That's allowed.
Yes,
That's
this
allowed.
is a good thing when you have a teammate.
Unlike other forms of auto sports, in IndyCar racing, your teammate is really your best friend. Unlike Formula One, where your teammate is your worst enemy.
Oh, somebody in pit. Forson is the first one. It's coming.
Fortson using the entry off turn 3 to come the pit road.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Locks up the tires, and he was still aimed at the wall. He had to come off the brake because he was locked up. Lucky he did, because that allowed the front wheels to catch and turn and keep him out of the wall. Now he's at the limit. He does not have a black flag for an unsafe pit entry. He gets down to his stall, up on the jacks, looking at a new set of tires on a full tank right at lap 44. He's going to go down a lap, but now he needs to come off pit road, not speed. Now he can speed. He's past those green cones. Very, very slippery access road here. He needs to take this as fast as he can. And then soon as he clears that blue line, he can merge with the traffic. And he's going to go 3 wide into 3 right off the bat. I'm sure he did not want to see that.
It is stopping at pit now.
Scheduled stop for Stouffer.
No, smart Forson to do that brake in straight, because if you brake turning the wheel, it could be worse, actually, really worse.
Matt Wagner on pit road.
Richie Hearn is coming. Clendy is coming. Richie Hearn is now in the entry. Clendy is in pit now.
Richie Hearn down on the apron, getting down to the speed limit at the cones. Jim Herrick, his team owner, right behind him. And speaking of 4D Racewear, they are now 1 and 2 on the point, with Reagan coming to pit road. And this is where Forsyth tends to excel. We said he falls back during the race, but as the race moves on, he kind of moves up in the order. Well, this is where he does excel. He's going to fall back in the order here when he goes to his pit stop, unless he gets a very fortuitous caution right about this point. But he will go back as these pit stops and these stints get longer and longer into this race. He should start picking up positions where everyone else is having to come to pit road. He's able to stay out. So he's coming to pit road, scheduled stop, and that will turn.
Oh no! Oh, Forsyth on the wall.
No, I can't tell if he hit the wall. Did he blink out?
And he disappeared. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he hit the wall.
Let's see if he gets any repair done. No repair. Lindy, purple lap, right when he needs to start putting purple laps out there as your leader, or going to be your leader. Micah Mixer, currently your leader. Micah, been out for 50 laps now. In fact, Mixer, Ramsey, Kirby, Gallus, Callisto, Hayes, all out for 50 laps. Let's see when they decide to make the turn down pit road. There's no way they could turn this into a two-stopper. I don't think. I don't think they can turn this into a two-stopper unless there's a lot of caution. Here comes Micah to pit road. Does Devin Ramsey come in? No, Devin's going to stay out. Justin Kirby. Kirby always shows good fuel mileage. He is staying out right now. Callisto, same thing. Callisto, our winner last week at Road America. Rick Ravon with the new tires to 10.7. Here comes Devin Ramsey to pit road. Justin Kirby looks like he is going to stay out for another circuit. Oh, contact! And we got a wreck in turn 3 and 4. Two cars into the wall. And we were just watching it.
Oh, Forsyth.
And if Forsyth was in that one. And he just rolled up on new tires behind very old tires. Here it is. I don't know if, was Kirby coming to pit road?
Oh, a lot of faith on Craig Forsyth thinking about the Kirby is gonna give it to the position, and it was nope. He just no good.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kirby was not coming to pit road because he would have entered there. And so where he crashed, we're not going to pit off a 4 here. And he just had a run and the door shut. And then when he comes up the racetrack, he clips the teammate of Forsyth and gets into Chris Reagan. And Rick Ray Vaughn's done. We missed that one as well.
Yeah, and also with Reagan on the back. Reagan is kick out, so it's out of the race for sure. He don't want to fast repair. And Rayvon is in the pit, but 3 laps down is just yeah.
And we'll watch here from Rick Ray Vaughn's point of view. He tries to avoid this, misses one, and just not enough time for the car of Reagan spinning to get out of the way. And Rick right into it, and just missing it on the high side is Richie Hearn, and just missing it low. Looked like it was Rigney. So under caution, unfortunately. And this is going to shake things up a little bit. But looks like Mark Amini will get the wave around. In fact, a whole host of drivers will get the wave around. Mark Amini will get the wave around. Gallas, Collins. Let's see, Hayes, Lovern, Herrick, and also Jacob Collins. They will all get the wave around. So what the wave around is the IndyCar rule. IndyCar, the leader always takes the field back to green when we resume green flag racing. So your leader right now is Christopher. He will move to the top of the queue here. Right behind him is Matt Wagner. Right behind him is Craig Forsyth. Now, what type of damage does Craig Forsyth possibly have? Forsyth only came in at lap 50. We're at 56, so he did not come down pit road to get a look at his car. Micah Mixer is in 4th. Lionel Callisto is in 5th. So a lot of those people that stayed out late are benefiting from this. Devin Ramsey also as well. Clindy is in 7th. Preston Fortson in 8th. Richie Hearn 9th. And Rigney in 10th. But a lot of those guys that did over 50 laps in that last stint are benefiting. Back on the racetrack is Rick Ray Vaughan. He is 3 laps down, currently at 18th. Back on the racetrack. Stouffer is your leader. He will bring us back to green as we got a blinky car. Micah Mixer back in the picture. Here we go. And we need to watch Forsyth and see if he's possibly damaged, and is it going to impact his car as they turn into 1.
Should be okay. It looks like fast, but here we really disappointed about in radio talking about the incident. He said, "Well, I coming for the next time by," but yeah, really disappointed about the move of Forsyth there.
No, Richie Hearn sliding up in the middle of the corner, trying to pass Rick. He decides to tuck back in. Behind them is a battle between Collins, Jacob Collins, and Rigney, our points leader. Wags purple lap. Go ahead.
I have this thing about this factor about we know Forza is really clean guy. Is one of the cleanest.
Yes.
Like Stoffer and Plenty and others, Richie Hearn, but how this affected to Forza in this race? He is third now. It's happened to me also too when you have a contact with somebody and you're in the front and you start to thinking about it. Oh, why I did that? Why? And that is make the also lose the concentration of that. So I hope for Forza just change the page and keep going because we have 6:17 to go now in the race.
And no one came to pit road at that. Actually, some people did. Not a lot. No, I don't think anybody came to pit road. Nobody came to pit road during that caution.
I think it was early because at the Plenty have a 6.97 now.
Clindy underneath, Micah Mixer. This is a battle for position. And Clindy 9 laps into his stint. Up front, though, Stouffer and Wags, they are well into their second stints. They are about 16 and 15 laps accordingly into their runs. Right behind them is Forsyth. Go ahead.
Apparently, Clendy and Forson came to the pit. They have a 2 pits over there, so I can see Clendy and Forson in pits.
Yeah, they must have come down pit road and decided to use that. And this might allow these guys to actually push a little bit harder now. There's Lionel Callisto right behind him. Looks like, do we see a car on the apron there? I thought I saw a car on the apron, but guess not. If you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series coming to you from Homestead Miami Speedway. We've completed now 66 of 130 scheduled laps. If you're enjoying P1's coverage of tonight's race, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for future iRacing content, including the AMA Black Magic Studios Grand National Series. That's right, the stock cars. They'll be visiting the Daytona Road Course. Former ISRA drivers Mark Murphy and Sam Crow will be on the call. Don't miss it. There's Thursday, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on P1.
Oh, Richie Hearn in the wall, but now it's released. So it's funny because we have a week off. So after this is the Grand National, sorry, the Track Series on Thursday, and then Xfinity Series, and then that's it. Monday again when it come back.
Oh, we got IIS on Saturday.
Oh, so this is the only one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is week 13 in iRacing, so not a lot going on this week. We just got regular scheduled league races, which is the ISRA and the AMA on Thursday night, and then the IndyCar iRacing Series, the IIS, which is the IndyCar Series official series. Go ahead.
No, I think Mixer close of Callisto. Callisto make a pass.
Okay, we'll watch that battle right there.
Again, 14 spot Callisto is going back to the front. And this is
Micah Mixer's up 12 spots. I mean, that's someone that sat on the both these guys sat on the podium at our last race. One was the winner, and one was the I think finished third.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that incident on the first corner on Road America, could be Mixer get the close of Callisto on that race.
The IIS is the official series on iRacing that mirrors the NTT IndyCar series. So my typical saying is when the NTT IndyCar series races, we race first with the IIS. Since this is a Gateway this week for the IndyCar series, they'll be at Gateway this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. The IIS will be. That's our top split race, and that will be the longest race of the year in the IIS. Keep in mind the 500 for the IIS is 500 kilometers, just like here in the ISRA, so it's not a 500-mile race. But the longest race of the season for the IIS will be their Gateway race this coming Saturday. Don't miss it. Some of the best oval racers you will see, and a lot of the what we call the hired guns of the esports community will be in the lineup, because we expect that track to be on the schedule for the, well, we don't know what it's going to be called. I don't think it's going to be called the Butt Kicker Series anymore, but we'll call it the Pro Series. Later this summer, when the Pro Series kicks back off, we suspect that Gateway will be back on its schedule again. They typically go back to IndyCar-only tracks. So we expect that to be a well-attended race by a lot of the esport guys, as well as a lot of the community's best oval racers, so check it out. And then next week, we'll be right back here in the ISRA at Motegi before taking 2 weeks off.
Nice.
Tristan Fortson now part of this battle. Excuse me, he's going to go. I didn't expect this. We're going to go 3 wide into the corner. I had to gulp some air on that one. I didn't think he was going to end. Here comes Micah Mixer. He crosses out. He's going to go 3 wide in the middle.
Yeah, he don't want to get involved in that.
Discretion is a better part of valor that time, but Fortson is the one that came out on top, but he is still being challenged. He's down on the bottom underneath Callisto. Going up top is Micah Mixer, who's been up in that high lane all race long. He crosses down, uses the banking, goes, going to slingshot shot up the middle again. 3 wide going in the 1. Micah Mixer comes out as the leader for now, but that low line's going to bring Fortson forward. And Fortson will get the position. He does not pull up the racetrack to close the position. Might have Brazilian cleared Callisto a little bit, but now he's ahead, so he should pull up there and clear him now. So Tristan Fortson, big move for Tristan. Move him up to 5th.
Big move, but you know, Callisto, one of the lion-haired former driver, is really strong in the IndyCar, and Fortson is not too protected.
Oh, contact!
Very close. Oh my God.
Fortson, and I think Callisto is actually kind of okay. All right, fine. You go right ahead. Go right ahead. You two wreck each other. I will stay behind. I don't know if he's damaged or not, but he's now off the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's Devin Ramsey getting a pretty easy pass on Callisto. I don't know if Callisto's trying to collect himself. Okay, now back under Ramsey. Meanwhile, up front, Stouffer, your leader now by 1.6 seconds over Clindy. Then we have Forsyth, who apparently is not feeling any ill effects, at least in his car. We don't know what's going on in his head, but at least no ill effects on his car from that incident with Reagan that brought out our last caution. Craig Forsyth is 3rd. Wags is back to 4th. He's fallen back a little bit, and he is on some really used tires, 34-lap-hole tires. We suspect he'll come the pit road fairly shortly. The closer to 100 he can get, the better for him. Micah Mixer in 5th. Fortson, we just watched that whole battle between Mixer, Fortson, and Callisto. That's 5th, 6th, and 8th. Devin Ramsey in 7th. Richie Hearn in 9th. And Jacob Collins in 10th.
Heat damage on Callisto's car.
Damage?
So no, I don't see any damage.
Okay.
It's just maybe performance or maybe little scary moment. You don't want to get involved, and that's why Ramsey gained pass of him. But maybe have a damage. We don't see that, but who knows? By the way, Raybon is out there, right?
Preston Fortson and Micah Miller. Oh, Fortson right up in front. He slid right up in front of Mixer, excuse me. God, we're going to go back and watch that one. We got to go back and watch that. Then they are side by side through the corner, through the straight here. And we come into the corner, and Fortson down low. And watch him just slide on up here. Watch this.
Oh,
Pardon
no,
me.
have a contact.
Coming through.
Michael, have a contact now. Mixer without front wing. Same situation. Same situation thrown in front to Gary.
All right, let's go back and take a look at this here.
Oh.
And same thing. Fortson kind of repeats the same move, except this time we're inches closer. And that is a front wing out for Mixer, and it could be damage on Fortson's car. There you see Ramsey taking evasive action to get around. He picks up another position. The Mixer comes to pit road for an unscheduled stop, but it's kind of in the neighborhood. So if he does a big fuel save, he might not have to come to pit road anymore. And there we see some other drivers coming to pit road. There's Callisto and Jim Herrick.
Also, Wagner did the pit stop too, so makes sense. He's really lucky because he have an incident in the turn 2, so he can come in and make the stop.
Again, the closer these guys can get to 100, then we know they can make it 30 laps easily. Christopher, leader by 2.1 seconds. Stouffer won our first 2 races of the season at Auto Club and at Milwaukee. Had to take a couple of weeks off for doing dad duty. Again, we take our hat off to him for doing that. And in his first race back, finished on the podium. Looking for his third possible win of the season, lap 90 of 130. Stouffer is 2 races shorter than everyone else in terms of making how he is in the standings. Most everyone has 7 races counted. He is at 5 right now. So that's kind of hurting him. Tristan Fortson on pit road. We'll see if he has a long stop for any possible damage that optional repairs. We do not see a meatball on him. Remember the Track Rocket Squad. Here he comes down into his pits. On the brakes, up on the pneumatic air jacks. Looks like standard service on his Dallara, down and away. And the winner at Michigan last season in the Vote of Indy Oval Series is down and away for his final stop.
He used the fast repair, so he have a damage.
Okay. So fast repair executed.
But surprise, Mixer didn't use it. So I think he just went to
I know sometimes some people you can, and I've seen people do this before. You could go into your INI files and you could tell it to not default to on, and so but that means that when I say default to on, your fast repair is not enabled when you start the race. And so a lot of people, they don't necessarily want that. They want to have control over when they enable that. So the thing you got to do is before you get back to your pits is you got to cycle through all your black boxes, find that setting, and re-enable it. And sometimes while you're damaged and everything and trying to get to your pit box, trying to find that little box to check can be a little difficult sometimes. And sometimes by the time they get back to the pit stop or their pit box, they're unable to check that box. And once you get into the box, you can't just say, okay, I'm clicking my fast repair, take over. If they've actually started to work on your car in terms of fixing repair or anything, you have to wait till that timer runs out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Ramsey, wow. Ramsey over Stoffer, and same situation Chris Forsyth tried to he did with Kirby, but in this time Stoffer.
And those are teammates, so they gotta help each other out on this one. See what happened there.
He went far to make the pass, but good job for Stoffer to be into the check the mirrors actually.
Yeah, let's go a little bit faster and forward in time here and see what happened. I think it was Stoffer coming off pit road. Was that what's happening there? Yeah, and so full head of steam going into 3. Oh, well, you know that they could have been on the comms telling each other. That could have been that could have been. Speaking of, here comes Ramsey on pit road.
Yeah, normally when you see that car far, like Ramsey was, you make your turn normally. And Stoffer really smart, saw it coming, and good job for him because the other one came over the 200 miles something, and Stoffer came out for the pit slow, so pretty good job on him.
So Clindy currently your leader, and the Clindy is going to have to stop again. The problem is, I think, with Clindy is even though he's out in front in clean air, I'm not sure if he's getting enough fast laps to allow his pit road delta speed, allow him to come to pit road and still come out as a leader or be close to Stoffer when Stoffer passes him on the racetrack. So I'm not quite sure that Clindy staying out is the best call, but I defer to Clindy. He's a much more knowledgeable driver than I am when it comes to strategy. So we'll see if he got something planned, or he just might want to stay out as long as he can. All right, here he comes, pit road.
Clendy. The problem is, you're right. Clendy did 25.9 in 4 laps, 26.0, 26 flat, 25. So if you're going to Stoffer, the last pit stop before he came, he did 25.8. But all of the laps, 25.8, really consistent in his laps. So I think so. It's not really nice for Clendy stay out with that time.
Mike Rigney coming to pit road. Rigney, your leader and your points leader, making his final stop here at lap 101, coming to 102. Gat will turn over the lead to Gary Lovern to get some TV time in the Coke Vor livery. Preston Fortson with new tires on the high side, ripping the top. Devin Ramsey, purple lap, 2:11.1 as Gary Lovern comes to pit road. That will turn the lead over to his teammate. Well, not quite his teammate. Well, not quite the leader. Excuse me. It is his teammate, but not quite the leader. Hugo Gallas. He comes to pit road at the same time as his teammate. That will turn the lead over to Hey Lewis Hayes. Hey Lewis Hayes, typically very good on the fuel mileage. Very long into this last stint for him. He's already at 50 laps into this thing. How much longer can we go? We have not had any caution during this stint.
Oh, don't call it.
And that will turn the lead back over to Chris Stoffer when Hayes comes. And Stoffer, ooh, Marcamini blinking.
So, good situation for Forsyth because they have a 7-8 laps stint with the new tires. and Wagner with 18 is coming close of Wagner to eventually the second place.
Right now, Donahue checking back in. Haven't seen him in the car in a while. Sounds like he's on the DL for a little bit, but he says he's going to be back. Look forward to seeing him back in the car. Here comes, Lewis Hayes, the pit road for his final stop. And the P1 sponsored IR18 Dallara. And we'll turn the lead over to Chris Stouffer, who will have a pretty big lead over Matt Wagner, who's in second.
It is coming, Kurt Forsyth, for the second place. And his help, also Clendy is coming back for the podium.
Yeah, Clendy's almost there. I really think, you look at the Stouffer with 4 seconds over Wagner, really 4 seconds over this group. And this right now, if we have a late caution, this race is really his race to lose. And I say that because you should probably win with a 4-second lead. At least when it comes to IndyCar racing. Here comes Clendy. He's going to shoot the gap. Threading the needle. Clendy from 4th to 2nd. Wags from 2nd to 4th. Forsyth to 3rd. He just hangs on to where he was. Now, can Clendy run him down with those fresher tires? There's big difference between those tires. There's about 7 laps. I just don't think, well, there's plenty of time.
It is half a second fast. Let's see, possible for line. Oh, well, 110 now. So because the draft he made the half a second last lap faster than Stouffer, but still a 10 faster than Stouffer. But Stouffer is 4 seconds in front, so it's really a lot. But the problem is have a Marcomini, and Marcomini hold it a little bit, but I see Marcomini coming to the front, and then Stouffer pass him back, and Marcomini have a 7 tires, 7 laps tires.
Same age as basically Clendy, yeah. A little bit younger.
But it's still keeping in the line. So I think so. Matthias didn't want to be involved in Stouffer line, so this is still on the back.
Hey, I want to thank the guys at the Sim Gaming Expo for sponsoring the ISRA Open Wheel Series. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry, meet your favorite streamers, and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more today or to get your tickets now, go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. And I will be there. In some capacity, I will be there. Lewis, you gonna make the flight? You gonna make the flight down from Toronto?
I don't know, man. I don't know yet. You know, it's funny. Told in my job told us, well, last year we give a lot of people time off, and we basically mess with that. Some people take 2 months. Oh. So for this time, we don't want to give it to nobody. Time off. I think they say October, November, December. I'm not sure about September. But yeah, it's kind of hard.
Some people abused the old PTO there and took too much vacation. Yeah.
I know. I don't know how they booking. I remember I saw this woman there, and then she came back later. And I said, "Where have you been?" So I'm vacation. Hold on, 2 months. So I don't know how to do that. Man.
watching Clindy right now. He's trying to run down Stouffer, and he has. He's got it down to 3 seconds.
We are 15 to go, so he needs to... Well, it is fast for 110 for each lap, but again, he's still fast for 110, so he needs to at least be 3, 2, but now they have a Hugo Galás on front of Stouffer, so maybe gonna help a little bit Clindy in there.
Well, Clindy's in the same picture, at least. Let's look out the rear. And you're going to see that pink car right there. That is coming off the corner. That is trying to run down our leader. 13 to go. And right now, just like the old Smith-Barney commercials, Clindy's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. He has to earn it. You don't remember those commercials. There's no way you remember those commercials.
No.
No, it was a commercial in the 80s. It was a commercial in the 80s, and it was Smith Barney. They're an investment company. They always tell people to make your investments with Smith Barney because they make money the old-fashioned way. And it's always like the guy says, "They earn it," you know. And so I always like to say, if you do it the old-fashioned way, you have to earn it here. Oh, and he gets around. Gallagher's there, watching out the rear.
It didn't work, to be honest.
No.
He used look like dirty what I said, but he used Hugo to be more fast.
Yeah, he actually extended his lead by about 3/10.
So now he's going in equal with Clindy, but he used the draft. So pretty smart.
So the call right now looks to be Stouffer pitting at 94 and Clindy waiting to 101 in that time frame. This is kind of where this deficit was created. That might be the call that won or at least secured the race for Stouffer.
I think was the timing Clindy took in track in clean air. He was 2/10 slow for maybe 10 laps or something like that. So it was not a good call. Sometimes you have to figure out yourself for timing. You have a lot of tools to can check how the fast it is, and also you can check your rebel front. So, and that is the thing you have to check yourself. Said, okay, I think so. I not really take a lot of time. I'm gonna come in and just maybe getting close for that.
Watching a three-way battle now with Micah Mixer leading this group of Richie Hearn, Devin Ramsey. 2 4D cars teaming up on the independent entry. Micah having a pretty decent race to back up his podium at Road America. He is up 12 spots, and now he just lost a position, but it was in the top, and almost on the verge of the top 5. He's in the 7th spot now. Now getting the position on the inside of Richie Hearn. Going to get that position back from Hearn. A little bit further back, there we see Callisto, Herrick, and Rigney. We really haven't seen high nor hair of Callisto since he had that near miss at the mid-race point. He's been kind of back. It's possible he might have been damaged a little bit. Even though he doesn't show using the fast repair. But there goes Herrick underneath Callisto. Herrick now into the top 10. Rigney would like to get around Callisto. That will give him some valuable points. He's going to probably lose the points lead. But still, he's not out of contention. And a lot of racing left on the schedule. With 4 to go. We will show you the schedule in the post-race. Still have half a season to go. Christopher, 3 laps to go now, as he is sailing well out in front of Clindy, although Clindy has tracked him down by 1.5 seconds, and I think it's just too little too late at this point. He is almost, now he's within draft range.
Yeah, 35 laps in the stint with the stopper. For sure, at some point you're getting more slow. Actually, it's 2/10 faster. And like you said, that's heel lifting. Glendy lifting in turn 2. He went in close on the wall, I think so. With that lifting, I think that he decided to keep it the second place.
White flag in the air. One more lap for Christopher. Looking for win number 3 this season. Podium number 4.
It's great.
Down the back stretch. And he will be looking at the checkered flag coming off corner number 4. Your winner at Homestead, Miami. It's Christopher.
With 3 victories, and is now we have to wait for the standing, but it's 9.
Oh, he has 2 wins, 3 top 5s this season, 4 top 10s, and add a 3rd win to that total now, and now 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s in 6 races. And it is donut time. Remember I don't know if you remember that old commercial, time to make the donuts. It is donut time. He is making the donuts, and he's doing it on the NASCAR logo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that one.
He make a spring. That's pretty good.
And Christopher with the win by 1.87 seconds over Clindy, who comes home second. Craig Forsyth third. Matty Wags, who is trying to get some extra TV time on the front stretch there, finishes in 4th. Treston Fortson, good race for Treston. 5th spot. Richie Hearn, good race for Richie in 6th. Micah Mixer, good race for Micah. Micah improved 11 spots, and I want to say he's the Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the race.
Yes, sir.
Micah Mixer in 7th, Devin Ramsey in 8th, Jacob Collins in 9th, Rigney in 10th. Lionel Callisto, 11th, Jim Herrick 12th, Lovern in 13th, Collins, Jason Collins in 14th, Hugo Gallus 15th, Mark Amini in 16th, Lewis Hayes 17th, Rick Ravon, not the finish he was looking for. Incident earlier in the mid-race, that's what I meant to say. Took him out of contention, finishes 18th. Justin Kirby crashed while leading, unfortunately. I think he was about a lap or so away from coming to pit road. Finishes 19th. Chris Reagan taken out as a result of that incident. And that is your 20-car field.
Yeah, we have a 1 yellow that today. So with the incident with Kirby and Forsyth, 59 minutes the race. So it was quite fast for 130 laps.
All right. And let's get into the interview room. All right, let's get into the interview room, talk to some of our podium finishers here. There is Craig. We'll bring him up now. Hey, Craig, got you here in the booth. Another day, another podium here for the 4D Racewear team. But a bit of a interesting race for you, especially at the midpoint. I guess we'll just ask you what happened.
I mean, we were on fresh tires. We were making hay. I think Chris was behind me, also on freshies. So we were doing our best. We needed to make those tires be as valuable as possible for those first 10 laps. And I don't know. It's going to be a difference of opinion, I think, between myself and Justin, because we were 15 kilometers an hour faster than him. I turned in first, and then he, as far as I'm concerned, he came down. And so I understand his viewpoint. I know my viewpoint. So it's just unfortunate. I don't like hitting other guys. So that's never something I'm happy with.
Well, how did that impact the rest of your race? I know that we're talking, for Lewis was saying, kind of from his point of view, when stuff like that happens, especially in the mid-race, you start asking yourself, what was going on? What was I doing? Could I have avoided it? Did I do something wrong? So you have that kind of the specter of what you did kind of hanging over you for the whole race. Did that impact you at all, or did you just have to compartmentalize it, close it up, and say, yeah, I got to finish the race here?
Well, I don't think I talked on my stream for the next 30 laps. So it's pretty much just only focus on the racing. Don't pay attention to anything else. Just do the laps and move on. But no, it was a good race for the whole team. I mean, we had a bunch of good results. I mean, obviously with Chris winning, but my brain went.
Well, you got Richie in 6th, you got Devin in 8th, and you got Jim in 12th.
So yeah, overall the team had a great result. It's just it's unfortunate that Reagan got taken out there with the incident that I caused. So it's unfortunate. It's a blight on an otherwise great race for the whole team.
Well, we're only human, Craig, so that kind of proves that you're more man and a little less machine than we all thought you were, especially with the way that you're able to save fuel over everyone else. So congratulations.
I mean, the pace these guys had tonight, I was just like, I started second and I fell back to 6th on pace, and I'm just like, wow, this is going to be a long night. But yeah, we got lucky. I'm happy with the third. I think we got lucky with it. So we figured out some better tools towards the end of the race. So that's what made it easier for us.
Well, like I said, you still managed to save more fuel than everyone at times. So that kind of helped your cause there at the end to kind of regain a lot of track position by staying out a little bit longer and getting some clean laps. So congratulations, P3 for you today. Walk this one off. We'll be ready. I'm sure you'll be ready in a week when we hit Motegi. But any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go?
No, I mean, I got to thank the whole 4D crew, Jim over at 4D Racewear. As most of us in the top 12 tonight. Great result for the team. Great result for 4D Racewear. Everyone at the team, you guys, you and LGN over at P1 doing the broadcast, and Rigney putting on this whole thing. This is all the old Lionheart guys. So it's good to get together with all the guys from the glory days doing the racing we love.
Congratulations on the P3. We'll see you in next week. Are you going to be here next week? Because I know you weren't going to be here for votive
I will
next
be
week.
Here for next week.
You
yes.
will be here for next week. Okay, so we will see you at Motegi at the very least next week. Until then, take care, buddy.
You betcha. Thanks, guys. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Point is up.
Points are up. All right. And we'll bring up Clendy's car next here, and then we'll take a look at the points. And refresh. And interesting. I did not think he would still be the leader, but I did a disservice to Mike Rigney yet again. He is still your points leader by 4 points over Jacob Collins. Both Mike and Jacob did not have the best finishes here today. Jacob finished 9th, Rigney finished 10th, and that basically is the same gap we had coming into this race for the most part. Clendy is now tied with Jacob Collins, his teammate. That is for second. And Forsyth is now effectively, I'm looking at I'm not sure. I am not sure what the tiebreaker is. I would say Clendy probably has a tiebreaker over Jacob because Clendy has 2 wins. But here in scoring, we see Jacob as second, Clendy as third, and then even though they're tied, 4th is Forsyth, 5th is Wag, 6th is Callisto, 7th is now Stouffer, 8th is Rick Ravon, 9th is Richie Hearn, and 10th is Mark Amini. Very quietly, Mark Amini works his way up to 10th. We didn't get a chance to shout him out very much, but it's 4 points from the lead to Rigney. It's 9 points from Craig to second. It's 8 points from Wagner to Craig. So the top 5 is all within 20 points. It's 344 to Wagner's 323. So it's 20 points from first to fifth. I mean, that's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, actually, from Stouffer is less of the 40 points between Stouffer and it's different thing. Here we go. It's 40 points actually, less than 40 points between Stouffer and the leader. So I know it's long to the finish. We are really past halfway, but it's getting close. Everything to have maybe, who knows? Like we see in the year end with 7 people won to the championship.
Right. Let's bring up Clendy here into the booth, and here is Clendy. P2 here today. We were just talking about the points. You are now tied with your teammate Jacob Collins and P2 and the points. You both have 340 points. And you're just a hair right behind Rigney, and you still have a little less than half the season to go. Talk about the race today, and then how do you feel about where you're situated in points with a little less than half a season left?
Yeah, I feel really great about the points. I feel like if I continue to execute at this level and don't make any big mistakes, finishing first, second, or third is the goal for every race remaining on the schedule. I know Motegi will probably be the hardest one of those to do that, and that's next week, or I guess next week. It's next week on the 16th. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be doing that one from my mom and dad's house, I think, and then so that'll make it extra hard. But just a little self-imposed restrictions there. I guess I won at Miami the last time we were here and fixed on Tuesday night at my brother's house on a single monitor. So we'll try it at Motegi, which is kind of a similar trick. I don't know. But for this race, I just had a couple of things I didn't execute right on, and it cost me the race. I thought to myself, every time I've ever lost here, it's because the guy behind me overcut me. And so when Stouffer and them came in on the first stint a couple of laps before I was ready to or wanted to, I'm like, it's no big deal. I'll get them back on the green flag run. And then the caution comes out immediately after, and I end up, second or third in line rather than leading. And I think to myself, well, may as well pit. There are only like 10 cars in the lead lap, and I lose like 4 spots. But it took me so long to fight back through the field that even though my tires were, 6 or 7 laps fresher when you disregard the caution, I had burned too much off of them trying to fight through traffic. And then I came out exactly at the wrong part of the arrow window to catch Chris. Because if I were 1.2 seconds back instead of 1.5, 1.6, I could run the top and give a 10th to him in the corner and then make that 10th up plus some more on the straightaway. But it just didn't function for me because if I ran the bottom and tried to run the optimal line, that's what he was doing. And so I was half a tenth slower than him doing that. And if I ran the top, I was a tenth and some change slower because I couldn't suck up enough on the straightaway. So I kind of just laid in my bed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to overcut and I'm going to beat him on the ending stint. And when he came in with like 40 to go or whatever, I'm like, oh, he came too early. Like his tires are going to be crushed at the end of the race, especially if he catches lappers. But I think Hugo and Matthias really cut him a break. Because it looked like he was struggling at the end, and then I just didn't pick my lines right coming up behind Matthias and Hugo. I think I could have been within half a second rather than just under 2 seconds if I had picked my lines right, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and just no big glaring errors today, just tiny little mistakes, and then an unfortunate timed yellow for me. I think if the race had gone green, I would have finished no less than a nose cone behind Chris. I know I've never won a photo finish on camera, but night might have been the night. But I didn't put myself in position to have it happen. So
death by 1,000 pinpricks. Like it sounds like just not one big thing. It's just a bunch of little things kind of add up. Wanted to talk to you about I just when you were having those other races where the overcut got you. Do you recall if they were day races or night races? Seeing that tonight was a night race.
Yeah, I think the night races I got beat on overcuts when I was not as good as I am now, mainly by like Hamilton, Rob, Jacob Oster, and them. Not to say that I was bad then, but I was maybe a 3K or something.
Yeah, we all have a learning curve. We all have a learning curve. Yeah.
Now I'm 6.5K, so it's just like, if it had been a day race, I think it definitely would have been the play, because in clean air you're just so much faster. Like my times I felt like were good once Chris pulled off, because even from 2 seconds ahead of me, like I picked up almost a whole half a tenth of a second every lap after he went to go pit, and then I stayed until my tank was almost empty, or until like I felt the tires slide once, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start hemorrhaging time if I don't pit now, and so I pulled the trigger. But I think it was just, I don't know. I think if I'd come a lap earlier, or maybe 2 laps earlier, who knows? Who can say? Just micro decisions, right? Just failure to execute perfectly when you absolutely have to win in a league of this caliber.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to you and LGN up here in the booth. Thanks to the 4D Racewear guys racing me clean, and everybody in the field, really. Wagner, Fortson. I didn't really see anyone else past that back, except for when I charged through the field. I think Micah Mixer might not like me very much anymore, because we raced really hard for like 4 or 5 laps, and then as soon as I got by him, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let you undercut me or slide me, so I fed him dirty air. So sorry, Micah. Thank you for racing with me. And beyond that, P1 Broadcasting, I think I said that already, but check out our track guides. We're going to have all new fixed oval and IIS guides for the refresh coming out this next season. Shout out to all of my road racing teammates, especially Ryan Campbell, who won the Votive Indy Derby last night. And come tune in both to Dark Horse and Votive Sunday nights. And if you come and join our Discord channel, you can get hooked up with me and Jacob Collins for coaching on road and oval. And if you need coaching on road, the best place to start there is with the Road to Indy series. So I know Jacob's working really hard with the Votive guys to get that orchestrated on Thursday nights. And shout out to the fine family members of mine that run Segerman Farms, all my teammates at Rogue Racing, and my mom, who I'm going to go watch Gateway with this weekend. So family, friends, everybody around the world. I'm taking up too much time because I'm sure Chris is getting trigger happy back there. So I'll get out of your hair and you guys can talk to Mr. Stouffer. And also happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there this weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to podium next week at Twin Ring Motegi, so I'll get out of the way now, preemptively and early. So if you're a dad, thanks for being a dad. I have the best dad in the world, so happy to have him, and hope everyone else can feel the same. So catch you later.
All right, take care, Clinty. We'll catch you next week. And Pam, he is out. He knows the drill. Let's bring up Chris Stouffer. Speaking of Super Dad, here he is. Chris Stouffer, 3rd win of the season for Chris Stouffer. Congratulations, sir. And really, it looked like to us, now, obviously, you had to do some racing out there on the racetrack, but that call to come in on lap 94 while Clinty stayed out for a considerable time longer before he came in, that really seemed to be all you needed for the win, because that gave you the big deficit that you were able to hold on to there to get the win here today.
Yeah, I knew the undercut was powerful. So honestly, I could have went one more lap, so I was out of fuel. I had to pit anyway, so it's not like I really had too much of a strategy call. I had to pit. it was just how long he was going to stay out before he pit. Um, I think if that race would have been 10 laps longer, or maybe even 5, he would have caught me, and who knows what would have ended up happening at that point. But yeah, it worked out. It couldn't have worked out any better.
Well, talk about that race. With the conditions out there, it did make kind of passing kind of hard to do here a little bit, with not being as much degradation on the tires, especially later in the runs. And I say that because everyone seemed to be kind of on a similar playing field level late in the runs. Early in the runs, obviously, everyone was like Superman. But getting passes on people, especially later in the runs with used tires and with the conditions, really was tough going. So once you got out in front of somebody with the cleaner air, it was really a benefit to try to start pulling away.
Yeah, I noticed that early on when me and Clindy were swap drafting at the beginning of the race there. I was running high, he would go low, da da da, and at one point he got a little bit of a gap on me, and I decided I was just gonna hang back here and I'll get him on the next straightaway, and then that just never materialized. The closing rate just wasn't there with these cars tonight. So yeah, once the tires started to burn off, and you could burn them up. I mean, you could certainly use the weight jacker and the tools in the car and burn those tires off, which I did. I tried everything I could to try to get back up to them, but at some point I was just like, hey, I'm in second. I'm just going to cruise. There's a lot of race left, and yeah, pit strategy worked out in my favor there. I was able to pull a little bit of a gap during that second stint that we had, and then that last stint, I was watching that. I was watching it, watching that go down on my relative there. He was eating up that time and getting a little bit closer, and I was able to hold him off and get another win.
This is the last, at least broadcasted race as we know it with these cars before they get a big update tomorrow. So congratulations. You got to go down in the history books, at least here on the broadcast side of things, as racing these cars before a big change is in the works coming tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. So congrats on that. Shout outs to any friends, family, sponsors, anyone who want to say hi to before we let you go.
Well, I guess I'm glad to get the last win on this, in this setup with this car, however you want to put it there. But yeah, shout outs for sure. 4D Racewear. Make sure to go to 4dracewear.com. Got great boots. I use those every week. Gloves. Good apparel there. Well, we got the help me out here. The Sim Racing Expo that's coming up this fall. So want to make sure to check that out. There'll be a lot of us guys there. I plan on making it there too. Shout out to my kids. My son came over as soon as I was done racing. He goes, "How'd you do, Dad?" I was like, "I did all right." So
I got a dub, man. What do you expect?
Shoot, yeah. No, I tried to stay modest.
Okay,
but
yeah, good dad.
yeah, I mean, at the same time, I was a little hurt. I had that nice lead after those first 2 races, and then just had to kind of give it away. Like I've heard you say, being super dad. I'm just being dad, just trying to take care of the kids and be there for the games, stuff like that. So, hopefully, I can keep this momentum going here through the end of the season. I should be able to make the rest of the races, and we'll see if I can make it up and get back up there and vie for a championship.
Let's see if Dad gets rewarded as well at home this weekend for Father's Day. Well, congratulations on the 3rd win this season. We will see you in a week, if all goes well, at Twin Wing Motegi, and we suspect that you will probably do pretty well there as well. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in a week.
Thank you.
That is Christopher getting the win tonight. 3rd win of the season, LGN. We're halfway through, and battle lines are really now drawn as we can really tell who are going to be the contenders as this season tears on. into the second half. We know Clindy's going to be there. I suspect Stouffer is going to be there. I suspect we'll see 1 or 2 or more wins for Stouffer this season. I know Clindy doesn't want to see that, but I think on the pace that we're looking at right now, we can expect to see Stouffer definitely for sure in victory lane again. But we can't rule out more consistent finishes from Rigney, more consistent finishes from Jacob Collins, and more consistent finishes from Wags. And that group of 5, along kind of with Craig Forsyth, we're going to have ourselves, 6 solid contenders for the remainder of this season.
Yeah, we have 6 to go. We have a Twin Motegi next week, and then we have 2 weeks off, and we're going to come back to Phoenix. So, Phoenix night. It's going to be a night race. And then we have Michigan, Atlanta, Kansas, and Pocono to the end. Yeah, it's going to be a good... actually, the championship is really, really in my side to see it. Weird, because I know Stouffer missing for 2, but we have 3 wins. And it's 7. It's 40, less than 40 points in there, but it's still close. The other thing is Rigney finished 10th. It is still lead for 4 points. But Clendy finished in the podium and is 4 points down.
Yeah,
so
just tied for second.
It's a mix and the stuff. It's a mix of stuff. It's a mix. All because happened in Road America. That's why all of this position changed really close together. So it really still excited actually for the thing. And Motegi. It's kind of half oval, half road. Why is it road? Because turn 3 and 4, maybe you have to use brake, but if you're the lead, you don't need to use the brake. The lead have basically 1 lap and a half, maybe, to defend the position. After coming to the lap 2. The first position is really difficult to catch. So it's something the people have to remain put in mind about the restarted. If you restart pretty good, you can have a chance at least in 1 or 2, but it's really difficult to that. So it's gonna be good race for next week in Motegi, and maybe it's gonna be kind of close for somebody. Or maybe it's going to be a spray for the championship.
Well, don't forget, one of the best races we had all of last season was at Motegi.
Yes, it was a pretty good. And I hope the people could be also have a mind. Not the first lap is going to be the to keep win the race, actually. So it's just time to get the win on there. So 2 things. Panthers winning 6-1 now. They scored for hockey.
Okay.
So the series going to 2-1, and we have a new world champion in the WWE. So
wow,
that's crazy.
Someone cash in?
No. Gunther won to Jay by submission. So that is crazy. So anyways, that's the 2 things I have to mention. So see you next week in ISRA when I restarted again all season in the fixer series with a new brand new car with new boot with a new stuff. So it's gonna be different thing. It's gonna be really exciting how the people are gonna use that stuff in the back straight and how it's gonna be the setup in that. So one
of the changes that the guys talked about, how the tires degraded here and how much he had left on his tires. Stouffer was talking about that. Now you'll get to see on your wheel in the game. It will tell you what the condition of your tires are, and you'll get to know tire temperatures and everything as fed to you into your wheel in the game. So that's one of the things we get to look forward to. Rain races as well. A number of other things to look forward to when we get the update tomorrow. So a very big update there. And keep in mind, like I said, last race we had, I think Wags won that race. Matt Wagner won that race at Motegi, in a very exciting race that came down to the bitter end there. Just over, you know, I think it was pretty near a photo finish. Wags had the hold off. I think it was Chris Reagan possibly there at the end there. I have to go back and look, but it was such an exciting race. And you're right, Motegi is one of those racetracks where just downforce kills you, because you need, if you have any downforce to get through turns 3 and 4, you just won't have the speed to get back around and hold your position off through the front stretch, and you're 100% throttle all the way down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2, and all the way down the back stretch before kind of getting into the braking zone, or at least the zone where you come off the throttle and start preparing your turn into turns 3 and 4. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out next week. Well, that's going to do it here for us tonight, as we're going to wrap up here at Vice City and give everyone back their Monday night. I guess also CM Punk and John Cena did a stare-off, so I got to go check that out too.
No more R2 is Ron.
It's Ron Killings, yes. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium from Homestead Miami Speedway. It's Christopher, his 3rd win of the season. Clitty, another race, another podium. Same thing for Craig Forsyth. Bit of a rough night. He'll walk it off, but he is in 3rd. Join P1 again next week for round 9 of season 2 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series, as the teams of drivers head over to the Oval at Twin Ren Motegi. Coverage begins around 9:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, it's 9:35 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube, at youtube.com at P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm, the game's not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. We know there's a lot of you watching out that are new. The non-subscriber index is like almost 50-50 again. Come on, guys. Subscribe. It's free. It's not going to cost you a thing. And every time I say subscribe, AI makes your subscribe button light up. So subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders, so don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's a return to the Saturday top split of the IndyCar iRacing Series for their longest race of the season at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Get an early start to your Father's Day by catching all the wheel-to-wheel action right here on P1. Don't miss it. ISRA Open Wheel Series is brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry. Meet your favorite streamers and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more, to get your tickets now, go to Sim Gaming Expo and be a part of simulation gaming history today at simgamingexpo.com. Do it today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Simcams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Simcams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. Links are in the description. So for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1, the Sim Gaming Expo, and the ISRA, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all good night and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and its first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Motegi for the next race of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. Good night, everybody.